Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. So this is a new month, and this is Impact Wrestling's news, notes, and opinions for September 1st, 2022. So let's get right into it. The Lady Frost Impact Wrestling situation is getting hot and heavy. So Impact Wrestling actually they responded to Lady Frost. So let me pull this up here. This is on PW Insider. It's going a little slow. Come on, PW Insider. Don't do this to me now. Let me get the article. Here it comes. Okay. So waiting for there we go. So the Lady Frost Impact Wrestling update. This is actually PW Insider. So let's just read the whole thing here. Then we'll talk about it for a little bit, okay? So it says, yesterday, PW Insider noted that Impact Wrestling star Lady Frost has been fighting to get a release from the company, and that she recently sent a letter to Impact and Anthem executives arguing her points and requesting once again that she be released. In speaking to several sources at Impact Wrestling last night and today, this is Impact Wrestling's version of the timeline of events. So this is, we got Lady Frost's version yesterday that I talked about, and now this is Impact Wrestling's version. Like I said yesterday, there's two sides to every story. So here's Impact Wrestling's version. It says Frost. They say Frost had been booked on all events on a per appearance basis until she informed them she was taking time off for surgery. She was and is not on an exclusive deal and can wrestle anywhere she wants, except for other nationally televised promotions. Whenever she traveled for the company, Impact sources claim Frost's flights, hotel, etc. were always covered. Obviously, it says here, obviously, whoever holds the receipts for that will have the proof. So whoever has the receipts, that's true. So if Lady Frost has the receipts, if Lady Frost says that she had to pay for her own accommodations and her own flights, let's see the receipts. If Impact Wrestling is saying that they took care of all accommodations, all flights, Impact Wrestling, let's see the receipts. Okay, so whoever has the receipts has the proof. And in regard to Frost working in Dallas, that would have been a situation where Frost, like other talents, worked for a number of groups since it was WrestleMania weekend. Frost did work at least one other event that weekend for Zelo Pro Wrestling and would have appeared at WrestleCon. Impact sources state that she informed them that she would be in Dallas for the weekend, so she was utilized on the Multiverse of Matches events. Their basic claim is that they did not approach her to book. They did not approach her to book her that weekend, but she informed them that she would be there, so she was included on the event. Frost informed the company after healing from surgery that she was good to go and requested a return around Slammiversary. Impact sources slated that since their TV and pay-per-view plans were already locked in, they intended to work Frost back in as they were able to. Shortly after Frost was informed of this, now this is Impact Wrestling side of the story, just so we're clear. Shortly after Frost was informed of this, Impact sources claimed that she instead requested a release from the company. One Impact source states that Frost was told that she could have a full release. She gave a full release after she returned to TV to put over Masha Slamovich as a way to build Masha and write Frost out. The same way others, Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain, have also done. Sources stated that Frost was unable to make the suggested TV taping, so the promotion asked her to let them know when she could make a future taping, gave her several choices as to when she could do the job. Shortly after that, Frost went public with her release announcement on Twitter. Impact sources claim that from that point on, they had not heard from Frost until she contacted the company's human resources department. Impact's version is that Frost was told to go back to her contact person. We are told it was Gail Kim, and to have conversations with her. Impact had not heard from Frost until after her letter to Impact and Anthem was received. Impact sources declined to comment on the letter, with one source stating that they had not actually seen it, but had heard of its existence. So that's the Impact Wrestling side of the story. And this is not over, actually. Actually, Lady Frost came back after that update. And so says, let's just read another. It's another Lady Frost update. After that one was released, as PWInsider.com noted earlier, Impact Wrestling sources cited that Lady Frost was offered a full release of her Impact Wrestling deal if and when she would put over Masha Slamovich on Impact TV, so that Impact could write Frost off and continue to build Masha Slamovich, who was still getting a strong push leading into Bound for Glory. But that Frost had instead stopped communication with the company and requested a release publicly instead. After publishing a post earlier today, PW Insider's post, sources close to Frost adamantly denied that was the case, stating that in communication with Gail Kim, Frost agreed to work TV tapings on July 1st and July 2nd, which would have been Atlanta, and to do the match with Slamovich, but asked for a confirmation in writing that working the dates would then grant her a contractual release. Frost claimed that after she asked for that confirmation several times in writing, communications then ceased. Obviously, Frost didn't work those days and hasn't been booked for Impact since. So, as I said yesterday, there's two sides to every story. Impact Wrestling, actually, Lady Frost claiming that Impact Wrestling did not pay for her accommodations. They didn't pay for her hotel room. She had to pay for them herself. Working Impact Wrestling cost her money. Impact Wrestling saying that they did pay for the accommodations. They do pay for her flights to Impact Wrestling TV tapings. Again, whoever has the receipts, they're telling the truth. Whoever has the receipts should just present the receipts. And it's a very, very sticky situation. It's a dicey situation right now with Impact Wrestling and Lady Frost. They're going back and forth right now, pointing the fingers at each other, accusing each other of wrongdoing. It's not a good look for Impact Wrestling. So here's the deal: Impact Wrestling told their side of the story. Lady Frost has her side of the story. Just release her. Just release Lady Frost. Don't you don't need anything like that. You don't need to go on. You don't need to be locked in a battle with Lady Frost, with a social media battle with Lady Frost, going back and forth. We did this, and she's saying you didn't, and this and that. Just grant her release. Let her go. If she wants to go, she doesn't want to be with Impact Wrestling. No. You don't need to hold on to her for 2 years. Don't keep her locked in. Just let her go. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for Impact Wrestling. It's not a good look for Lady Frost either. I mean, Lady Frost, obviously, she signed a deal. Impact. She said she had an exclusive deal with Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling saying it wasn't exclusive. She could have wrestled anywhere as long as it wasn't on national TV. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know. Quite frankly, I really don't care to be honest. I just think if I was Impact Wrestling, if I was Leonard Asper, Impact Wrestling, Scott D'Amore, I would just you know what? We don't need to go on with this garbage. Is this going to be going on for how long now? Is this going to be a weekly? Is it going to be going on for weeks now? They're going to be going back and forth. Just grant her release. Just let her go. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Just Lady Frost, obviously never going to wrestle with Impact Wrestling again. They're not going to work this out. Just let her go. Impact Wrestling washes their hands of the whole thing. Lady Frost could show up on a couple of episodes of AEW Dark, maybe an MLW, maybe battle Taya Valkyrie for the MLW Featherweight Championship. But bottom line, just let Lady Frost go. Grant her release. Just let's get on with our lives, okay? Impact Wrestling, let's get on with our lives and let Lady Frost get on with her life. Just grant her a release. That's all. Okay, so. Will Ospreay says his time with AEW is done for the foreseeable future. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I say it's interesting because Aussie Open just debuted for Impact Wrestling, or actually they were at the last TV tapings. We all know Aussie Open and Will Ospreay. They're teammates. They're United Empire teammates, fellow faction members. So maybe if he's time with AEW is done for the foreseeable future, maybe we could see a couple appearances by Will Ospreay in Impact Wrestling, which would be absolutely tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I would love to see Josh Alexander defending the Impact Wrestling World Title against Will Ospreay. And then there's people out there saying, "Oh, we don't want to bring somebody else in who's not on the contract." He's on a contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Will Ospreay is an exceptional superstar. And yes, I would be more than willing to bring Will Ospreay in and give him a shot at the Impact Wrestling World title against Josh Alexander. That will be an epic match. Josh Alexander against Will Ospreay will be absolutely epic in an Impact Wrestling ring. So hopefully, because I know there's been, you know, Will Ospreay was supposed to make an MLW appearance in the past, but that got canceled. And there was some talk that he's going to make the appearance, but make it why MLW? I mean, MLW is a good promotion, but Impact Wrestling, I enjoy MLW, but I think Will Ospreay would be a better fit in Impact Wrestling, making a couple appearances in Impact Wrestling than MLW, in my opinion. Well, he could appear in both, of course. But I just got in my head Josh Alexander against Will Ospreay. Would be great. Will Ospreay against Rich Swann. Oh my gosh, how awesome would that be? So hopefully we'll see Will Ospreay make an appearance or two or three or four or five or six or seven or 8 or 9 or 10 in Impact Wrestling. Now that his time with AEW is done, as he said, for the foreseeable future. So again, you could come in, team with Aussie Open, and create havoc. Create havoc in Impact Wrestling. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll see that happen. Hopefully, we'll see Ospreay in Impact Wrestling. Last night on AEW Dynamite, former Impact Wrestling superstar Dobby Morrissey appeared. Now, there's no indication that he signed a contract with AEW. But he hasn't got a graphic yet that indicated that that he's all elite. There's no W. Morrissey all elite graphic that came out, and I can see him maybe Ring of Honor, AEW, but there's no indication of a contract signed. W. Morrissey officially signing with AEW. Impact Wrestling never should have let him go. Impact Wrestling never should have let W. Morrissey go. W. Morrissey, he was a star in Impact Wrestling, and he really elevated himself to another level in Impact. After all his personal demons that he had to defeat, and he came back to Impact Wrestling, and he elevated himself to another level. Impact Wrestling should not have let him go. I can see him doing big things for AEW, but on the flip side of that, I think he's with Stokely Hathaway. Now I think he came and he took out the Wingman during Dynamite. But either I can see big things for W. Morrissey in AEW, but I can also see possibly him getting buried behind the other talent, like behind the CM Punks and the Adam Pages and the Jon Moxleys. Maybe he'll get a shot at Jon Moxley once, or maybe we'll see him against CM Punk. But either he's going to be huge or he's going to disappear. I don't think it's going to be an in between for W. Morrissey, but Impact Wrestling should not have let him go. They should have given him. I think he wanted a certain amount of money, and I don't know the whole details, but Impact Wrestling should have did what they had to do to sign him to a long-term deal. He even said himself his goal was to become Impact Wrestling World Champion during a number of interviews. And he said that was his goal, and he was enjoying his time with Impact Wrestling. They should not have let him go. They're gonna regret it. They're gonna come to regret it. Watch. I have a feeling, like I said, W. Morrissey. I have a feeling he's gonna be big time in AEW. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets buried. If he gets buried behind all the other top talent. Well, he could go to Ring of Honor and become a top guy in Ring of Honor, of course. But bottom line is Impact Wrestling made a mistake. They should not have let W. Morrissey go. I mean, we could have had W. Morrissey and Josh Alexander for the Impact Wrestling. That would have been a great feud for the Impact Wrestling World title. I know W. Morrissey battled Moose. About Josh Alexander against W. Morrissey, there was stuff to do for W. Morrissey. W. Morrissey, I think towards the end, they seemed like they were running out of things for him, but they could have brought other guys in to feud with W. Morrissey, right? Like if Shane Taylor comes in, Shane Taylor and W. Morrissey would have been like a great feud right there. But yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. They should have kept W. Morrissey. And that's it. That's it. I was going to talk about Bobby Fish, maybe Bobby Fish in Impact Wrestling, but maybe Bobby Fish, his contract is not going to be renewed by AEW. And we might see him make an appearance or two in Impact Wrestling, but I feel he's going to go back to WWE and be like a coach at the Performance Center or something. But Bobby Fish against a number of Impact Wrestling talents would be pretty cool. But I don't expect him to. If anything, maybe like a 2-3 month deal with Impact Wrestling. But I think he's ultimately going to go back to the WWE and like be a coach, like you said, at the Performance Center. And that's it. That's it. Just wanted to go over those few things today. Tonight, Impact on Access TV. Get ready. It's going to be a great show. I went over the whole card yesterday. And unfortunately, I can't watch it tonight. I got to get up early in the morning, but I will watch it. And I'm trying to get my review out by Saturday or Sunday. Well, actually, I'm going to be away this weekend. I might have to skip the review. If anything, I'll try to pump it out Sunday night, but that might be a little too late. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Anything breaks, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye. Actually, I should close the show properly. All right. Now, I have a new way I want to close the show, and I always forget. So let's close it the way I want to close it. Okay, so let's pretend I didn't close it already. So I'm still talking. Well, that's about it, guys. And just want to say this is Impact Wrestling news, notes, and opinions for September 1st, 2022. My name is Lewis Carlin. Thank you very much. Take care and stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.